perfect 24-21 prediction. So if you're placing your bets out there, you're going to want to go with.
We've never had a 30-point dog on our team like that.
I heard some. Jimmer.
The greatest of all
Jimmer
time.
is a friend of the show. Don't dish Jimmer like that. After that Utah big rivalry week win, are we going to be in for a letdown this week, or do you think we can hold that same energy going, traveling to Ames?
I'll say that Iowa State's a very formidable opponent. They play well. They've lost 2 games. They lost to Cincinnati, who's shaping up to be a good Big 12. They're at the top of the Big 12 right now. Mm-hmm. And they also lost to Colorado in a close game at Colorado. And
Colorado's an improving team.
Exactly.
Getting better every week.
They're finding their identity. They have their quarterback. They're starting to figure things out. So
and going into the year, I would have said this was going to be our hardest game.
Yeah.
So, I'm not exactly sure what's gone on with Iowa State. But I think they're a really good team. And
well, they've put it together. They've had some key injuries on defense, right? I mean, they lost their two starting corners, right? I mean, and they've given up some big yards, against good offense. I think Colorado exposed some things with their defense in particular.
And in the Cincinnati game, Cincinnati scored 38 points on them. And I know that was the first game their defensive backs were out. But do you know if their defensive backs are back? They had the bye this week.
No, I think they're out for the season. I think they're 2 starting.
Oh, are they really?
Corners are out for the season.
Oh, wow.
Which is a big blow to Iowa State.
But now they've got guys that will have played for a few weeks in those positions.
Yeah.
For us, and coming off the bye week. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us.
Yeah. Against Colorado, one big weak spot for Iowa State was they were unable to convert on third down. I think 2 of 12 on third down. Their average third down yardage was over 8 yards. They had to go on third down.
Oh wow!
And they just couldn't convert. I know Rocco Beck had a weak game, and it really had, I think, to do with Colorado's defense being able to get a lot of pressure on Rocco Beck. I don't know if our defense, coming off of defense is all based on that energy. And coming off the Utah game, one of my big worries going into traveling to Ames is the letdown of that energy when it comes to defense, right? You go from LES just so full of energy, super loud. I mean, three of you were there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe the loudest game ever in LAS. All of this build up. It's easy to come off of a rivalry week like that with all that energy and a win, and then go into a little bit of a letdown and not be able to carry that, especially going on the road. Yeah, I mean they're struggling though, Iowa State, and I think they particularly struggled. I think they gave up to Colorado. What's their what's their running back's name?
Abu Sabi or something like that.
Yeah, we probably got it here somewhere.
Iowa State's?
Yeah, Iowa State's leading running back.
Leading running back gave up. They gave up. He rushed for Abu Sama. 177 yards against Colorado's defense.
Yeah,
that may have been the only bright spot actually in that game for Iowa State.
I do think Iowa State seems to they seem to be mainly a throwing offense. They're fairly balanced. But they've got some passing yards on their stat book that BYU hasn't seen since ECU, maybe. Arizona threw the ball decently, but East Carolina, we talked about early in the year how they were going to have one of the passing offenses on our schedule, and it's been a few weeks. We haven't seen, Utah was dinking and diving, but they weren't throwing the ball downfield. In my opinion, this week, we're going to see a little bit more about how is our pass defense. We're going to tune that up a little bit, and it's got to be tuned up.
And that's a calling card of every Matt Campbell offense, is that passing game. They may have struggled at Colorado, but he's gonna tune some things up. They're not gonna play. I don't think they're gonna do that 2 games with an experienced quarterback like Rocco Beck. I don't think that they're going to come out there not ready to pass the ball effectively against BYU.
Yeah.
They're coming off a bye week too, so they didn't play.
Your voice a little crackly or what?
Yeah, sorry.
Loud game.
But they didn't have a. They had a bye week, so extra time to prepare.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be ready for us.
Yeah, they had a team watch party, I'm sure, to watch the BYU Utah game. They've been studying us. They will have for 2 weeks. So they're going to know us inside and out. That's for sure. In your week to week study of a film, like you're prepping for a team, it's really quick that you have to say, okay, review the film from your last game, start watching film on this new team, and you have your game plan. You're still going to keep watching film. They've had 2 weeks to really know our team inside and out.
2 weeks can make a
this
big
is a
difference.
big
Having a
game
bye
for
week
them.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It really does.
This is like the game. If they lose this game, they're probably out of the picture in terms of the conference. But if they win this game, that can help with tiebreakers, and it may allow them to kind of stay in there and hang around. So this is a big game for them too.
Yeah,
They're gonna come into this fired up for sure.
yeah. I'm not super worried about Iowa State coming off like a win against Utah, but I think if we come out and we underestimate them, they've had 2 weeks to prepare. They're going to come out hard, and if we underestimate them, they could surprise us.
And the environment that Lavelle Edwards Stadium provided for Utah, there's going to be a similar environment, not to the extent with the rivalry, but Iowa State does have a very good home field advantage. Their fans are loud. They pack the stadium. So
There are 2 fans out in Iowa.
yeah, they're 2 Iowa fans.
No, the problem is they have nothing else to do,
that's
so they
true.
gotta
They're
go
all
to the
fans,
games.
Yeah.
Well, and
All the
they're looking for their rival, I think, in the Big 12 right now. They have some quasi rivalries, but right now, BYU the last 2 years has kind of, since we've been in the Big 12, which hasn't been long, there's a little bit of a rivalry forming with Iowa State, where I think they're going to be, and because we're undefeated, they are going to be up for this game. Their fan base is going to be up for this game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be wild. I think Iowa State's got the second largest stadium in the conference to BYU. It's pretty close, right? Yeah. So I think they're like 62,000. We're 64,000, something like that. So it's going to be a packed stadium, and they're going to be loud.
Yeah, really for Iowa State, this is kind of their make or break game. Like this is kind of it. If they lose, they're kind of out. If they win,
and everything's still in front of them. They could win out and still make the conference championship game, depending on how things shake out.
Yep.
So their season's not over by any means. No. They're going to bring it. That's for sure. I loved what I saw out of LJ against the Utes. The way that LJ runs and the way our offensive line's blocking, I don't question if our run game will be able to get going. If we did it against that Utah defensive line,
yeah, we'll be able to do it against
I think we'll be able to, barring some sort of injury or anything like that, we're gonna get the run game going. Bear's gonna need to open his arm up a little bit, and I think whether he needs to win the game or not, he needs to, as we travel through this gauntlet towards where we want to go. A Big 12 championship game's going to need to be won partially with your arm.
If BYU wins, it'll be because what in this game, or when BYU wins?
I think
we're all in on blue. It's when BYU wins.
I think it'll be consistency. I think before, like in our past games, we've had highs and lows, but not super consistent. I think we just need to be consistent and show that we can do that through the rest of our gauntlet. And this is a good game to prove we can.
I'd like to see us improve on third down a little bit more. We didn't do too well on third down against Utah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the final numbers, but we were 1 for 9 on third down partway through the third quarter. And I'm not going to say that's going to make or break the game, but going along with you, consistency. Are we going to be consistently expecting to convert on 3rd and 3? Or are we going to be like, oh, we got one, or oh, we didn't get one? I think our consistency throughout the game, offensively particularly, will win us the game.
Yeah, there's definitely. Sorry, guys. I think the consistency of LJ. In fact, in the middle of this game, Isaac turned to me and he said LJ Martian, and I thought, really, it's like. At some points, he's out of this world, right? Like, and I think if we can use him to have that sustained drive, like we can come up with big plays, but I think it's him that keep that sustained drive going, and that's going to be a big difference maker.
I think we're gonna. I think going into this, our offensive line is going to dominate their defensive line and be able to establish the run. I think we're going to have a good rushing game. I think we have an opportunity as well to have a strong passing game. I think if it comes down to it, I think there's an opportunity here for Bear Bachmeier to have his best passing game of the season. So I think we'll be able to move the ball. For me, the big question really is, can we slow down their passing attack and Rocco Beck? He's a good quarterback. He can pass. If we can stop their passing game and be able to run, because I think I predict a high scoring game against Iowa State. I think we may score more points than we have. It then becomes a question: can our defense come in with the same energy that we've been playing with and be able to stop their passing? I think we stop their running game, but can we stop their passing attack?
Does BYU use their proven run game as a crutch to keep them away from throwing the ball more than they should? Do you think? When I was watching the Utah game, I kept thinking, and you're trying to win the game. That's what you're trying to do. Running is working. But it seems like throughout the season, other than in the blowout games, we've been like, hey, running's working. We don't need to throw. Has Bear had enough opportunity to open up the playbook and make his throws? What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's had the opportunity to, and I think he's been able to capitalize when he's had that opportunity to. But I kind of agree. Like, I mean, if LJ is just, if it's working, like, let's not change that.
Yeah.
But I think they're getting, Aaron Roderick and our offensive coaches are getting very comfortable with Bear Bachmeier and LJ in particular, the two of them running the ball in tandem, and giving that option to Bear Bachmeier to run or pass because he's a freshman. I do worry that he might get, I worry about the risk of injury to him, but so far he's proven to be a formidable runner. And I think that makes the play calling where it becomes a little bit more like, okay, let's establish the run and let's use the pass a little bit more to surprise them. Versus oftentimes you'll see a team that's like, okay, we're just going to use we're going to use the run to establish the pass, to open up the passing game. I think BYU kind of uses it a little bit more to say, okay, we're going to run. We're going to use this rushing game to gain a bunch of yards. And rather than mix it up, they kind of switch back and forth. They'll go on drives where it's just like run.
Exactly.
Maybe a couple of drives, run. It's like, what happened to our passing game? And all of a sudden, we go on a drive where we do nothing but pass.
And that's what makes me wonder is, do we do nothing but pass? And the next drive, we're like, well, we know our run game's working.
Yeah.
Just hand the ball off.
Sometimes.
And I want to get to the point where Bear and the offensive coaches, I want A-Rod to be like, really, I want to run the ball right here, or I want to pass the ball right here, and have it be a little bit more balanced and not unpredictable. It seems
on the drives themselves.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty balanced throughout the game generally.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of it is just like Bear has an RPO and he just chooses to run?
It could be.
Some definitely.
Yeah.
He's probably more comfortable even as a freshman. But I think running if he can.
He's making the reads though. When he does his, I'll say like he's choosing if he's gonna keep or pitch. He's making those reads like it's clockwork. Very rarely are you like, oh, he missed the pitch, he should have kept that one. Him and LJ seem to have that.
He doesn't take off either. Like he gives it time.
He's patient.
Will extend the play, and then he'll be like.
He doesn't look super nervous on RPOs. He can go through his reads.
I imagine that there's still a little bit of the playbook that they haven't opened up for him, just because maybe we're starting to forget he's a freshman, and
what a luxury.
He's learning. Right?
Yeah, wow. I thought by the Utah game, we would have the whole playbook, but I think you're right. I think they're holding back a lot of stuff still. And probably because we got Texas Tech in 3 weeks.
I mean, you don't want to overwhelm your freshman quarterback.
No.
I think I mean, he can do what any quarterback can do. Like Kalani was talking in an interview I was watching this week because
in the Utah week, I find it hard to focus at anything. I'm just like thinking about the game. I'm at work like, oh crap, I haven't worked.
Like, did I get any work done this week? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but Kalani was talking about how A-Rod deserves more credit than he's getting for how he's really warmed Bear up to playing. He's given him every opportunity to have his confidence up here after every game. And there's something every game where you're like, he can go home being like, man, I think it went well this week. Yeah. After the Utah game, you don't have your best passing game, but man, did you step up in big moments
the guy
and convert on 3rd and 4th down when you needed to. Like, he goes home after every game thinking, man, this is going well, rather than, oh, crap, I'm screwing
the coaches have done
over.
a great job with that. I mean, it starts in practice too.
Oh yeah,
of lending him that confidence and saying, "Hey, we trust you," and then giving him enough of the playbook to keep his trust and not holding back too much, where he starts to believe, "Oh, they don't trust me." But our schedule as well has been ideal.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't get any better, I don't think.
Yeah, we've kind of grown.
Where just each game has just been a step from the other.
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about in the last episode how we feel like Bear, maybe more than anybody I've ever seen, has the ability to kind of learn on the fly and adapt. And maybe we need to give him more opportunities in game to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just open up the playbook in a way we haven't in the middle of a drive, rather than being like, oh, this drive we're only doing this, and then
we got to hold back something for the playoffs.
Well,
Please don't hold it back. We can do it for a second time in the playoffs.
one thing that I think is going to be different for this game is Iowa State's quarterback really is not a running quarterback. He's got 91 rush yards on the entire season.
No, he's a pocket
We've
passer.
had quite a few in a row that really had some good legs, and that's been a little bit different. So it'll be interesting to see how that.
It'll be interesting to see our pass rush difference with that, without having to worry about containing or spying or anything like that.
Is that going to benefit us to have maybe more of a one-dimensional quarterback? Is it going to be easier for our defense, or is it going to be a challenge because we've gotten accustomed to, I think, almost every game we've been facing some of the best running mobile quarterbacks in the country.
I think it'll help us. I think we've said before we kind of struggle more with mobile quarterbacks, and I think it'll help. And then also, like you said, our schedule has helped. I mean, we faced air raid offenses, and we've proved we can do it. So
and I feel like that's what we have left is more pocket passers.
Yeah.
I feel like we went through our mobile, and now it's kind of switching to.
I'm excited to see what, Glasker, Kelly, right? Some of our line. I mean, we've got great edge rushers. We've got great linebackers, right? We've got some great. There may be nobody better than Jay Hill at calling blitzes and surprising and adjusting. And it's harder when you've got a mobile quarterback. Because you got to stay home, you got to stay in your lanes a lot more. I'm excited to see the pressure that we might be able to put on Rocco.
Are you saying that maybe we'll get my 5 sacks?
Get your 5 sacks? Well, no, because remember you're increasing 1 each game.
Yeah.
So this is we got to get 8 sacks in this game, Keith.
I'm interested to see how the pass rush, if it changes, because Dampier, we weren't blitzing a lot in the Utah game. I don't know if you guys noticed.
No.
There were times. I'm not saying we didn't blitz, but we were rushing our 3D linemen, 4D linemen, and they were almost like holding Dampier hostage. We weren't scared of him.
That's what we had to do in that game.
There were some times where it was a long time that he was standing back there, and I was wondering what that strategy was from a coaching standpoint, or if we just couldn't get any push. But I'm interested to see how our team blitzes in a way against a good throwing quarterback. How does that pressure change? Does it change? Yeah. Does it change? Is that a weak spot of our team? Is the pressure a weak spot, or is it just how it's been called up to this point?
Well, it'll be
a key to us, not only for this game but going forward. Like if we can establish that and we can feel comfortable with that, that's going to be big for us.
It'll be a lot less critical for our defensive linemen coming through to stay in their lanes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they'll be able to adjust more, come at angles, which makes the can increase if they can get through, which I think they will. And that pressure significantly. And I do think we'll see more sacks.
And granted, in the Utah game, our defensive line played a great game. It seemed like they were doing what they were coached to do that week, is that they'd get their push and then their eyes were on Dampier. It's almost like they weren't necessarily trying to swim and get past. They were like, where is that guy? Because they knew the plays they had to make weren't necessarily a sack going full bore 100 miles an hour past him.
Well, the more in that game, if they let Dampier get outside frequently instead of trying to keep him in the pocket and make him make decisions and pass from the pocket, a much bigger struggle. I mean, I think it put us a much greater risk just because of his legs. I mean, his ability, his slipperiness when he gets outside of the pocket. Is
they didn't have really much of a deep threat at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but the more time you give him didn't necessarily mean it was going to be any deeper.
Interesting thought on Dampier. I'm not going to say that he can't throw the deep ball. I think he can. I don't think Utah has players that run the deep ball well.
Yeah.
They didn't throw hardly any downfield, more than 20 yards. They didn't throw one go ball, it seemed like, the whole night. And when they did, it was overthrown. But Utah could be really scary if they had some receivers, and they haven't had them for a while.
But that's not the case with Iowa State.
No, sorry.
No. I'm just saying, can our defensive secondary, are we good enough? I mean, it seems like we've been playing, they can play some good man. I mean, they won't need to necessarily play as much man potentially. They might be able to rely a little bit more on that zone coverage. But can they slow down the receivers with a great quarterback?
They better
Iowa
be able
State.
to. That's all I'm saying. They better be able to.
Is there anything that we should worry about with BYU that is a weak point going into the Iowa State game? What's the concern that we have?
I'm a little bit concerned about our pass offense. I want to see that continue to get better week after week. If Bear can get more comfortable making the throws to where we're calling the game more like we called it with Jake. And we're going to play it different, obviously, but when you're feeling comfortable making the throws downfield.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I hope it works out this week to do that.
I'm concerned maybe if there is a concern. I'm not super concerned about this game, but I think my biggest concern is if there's a defensive energy letdown, particularly in our secondary. Because of the accuracy of their quarterback back and his ability to pass. If he can pick apart our zone, if our energy is not up because of a letdown after this great rivalry week, that's probably my biggest concern going into that game.
BYU loses this game. I'm not too worried, but I think the first drive is really important that we come out hard. I think that's
on the road.
Really set the tone.
On the road for sure. That's big.
It feels like since the Colorado game, that's kind of been one of the things that we're trying to nail down is come out and set the tone quick, whether it's defensively or offensively. But after that Colorado game, I think it woke us up like, oh.
But each game till now, we've been able to, each game seems bigger, right? I mean, we've gone, I mean, I won't go through all the games, right? But each game was bigger. We had, Colorado was bigger game for us, and we got easy to get up for that game. Then we're going to Arizona, who's got a better record than anybody we've played. Then we're going into Utah, rivalry week. We peaked, right, with this energy. Now it seems like going into the Iowa State game, and that's why I'm so concerned about the energy. Is now we're not at a game where we're building to the next. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, and that's what got us last year was that Kansas game. That was this is basically a game.
And it's on the road, right?
And it's still Iowa State. And they're very good.
Yeah.
And they're very good
I mean, at the beginning of the year, this was what I thought was going to be maybe our toughest game or the Utah game.
It's pretty interesting and beneficial to the Cougars that last year more than half the team experienced starting off undefeated and losing a game you weren't supposed to lose to Kansas. And so I do.
And then losing back-to-back games because of the drop-off.
I do hope that the veteran leadership on our team
Keeps it up.
grabs practice by the reins this week and really makes sure that, all right, yeah, we've done this to this point, but what do we do now? And it's not a letdown.
Remind them,
Like
this
it
is where
was.
we were last year, guys.
Exactly.
We went 6-0. We were on the precipice, and then we had just 2 games where we just let down, where we didn't come into it with enough energy.
And that's
We
really
thought
what
we
it
had
was.
the wins, and
Who did we play right
and
before
we
Kansas?
could have gone to the
last year?
playoff.
After Kansas was Arizona State.
No, right before.
Oh. Was it
Is that
Utah?
I think it might have been Utah.
May have been. Yeah, I think it was.
So
So maybe it's a similar
So that is
thing.
the risk.
Again, that letdown. Because I think it was Utah last year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
And
it
after
was.
that, it felt like, okay, Kansas, knock that one out. Then we have Arizona State. And so it was kind of like that. You look past a game. And then it's the same thing here, right? Like we have Texas Tech right after.
that's true.
It's really easy to look past this
Look
game.
past this game.
You're like, okay, they've kind of been falling apart a little. It's not who we thought they were. Look past it, just like we did last year, and blowing this game.
We need big noon kickoff or game day, right, to go to this game, get the energy up like we just came off of for BYU. Maybe we do it, guys.
Start our own big noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iowa State, BYU this coming weekend.
Big blue kickoff.
Can we count on you, BYU fans, to come and bring the signs?
Yeah. Bring your signs, camp out,
The bug will be there.
get there
Bug will be
early.
there. Something to be a little bit
thing.
nervous about, right? Hopefully we learned our lesson last year.
Yeah.
But very few teams have the chance to go 7-0, 8-0, 9-0 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we're in this situation and we've been in it with almost all the guys on our team, it's really hopefully beneficial to us.
What a time to be a BYU fan.
It is.
It's just so awesome.
It really is.
Okay, for everyone placing their bets out there we hope none of you, right? We're not better, but we hope none of you are placing your bets out. But for everyone placing your bets, this is your chance to get it right. We're going to make some bold predictions about the score.
I'm going to start off with my score. I think it's going to be a higher scoring affair with the passing offense of Iowa State. I'm going to say BYU is going to win 35-28.
Keith, what do you think?
I'm going to say 34.
34.
21.
34-21. Higher scoring.
I think this week, we're going to win 41-28.
Oh, that'd
wow.
be nice. I'd love it.
That'd be awesome.
Good prediction. I like yours the most out of anyone so far.
Real confidence.
It's good to
Yeah.
have you on the show.
Yeah. Keep bringing that energy.
All right. I'm just going to remind y'all who currently holds the belt, right? Not just for a close score prediction last week against Utah, but for the
All week,
For a-
every week.
for a perfect 24-21 prediction. So if you're placing your bets out there, you're going to want to go with 38-24.
Oh, that was
BYU.
literally what I was going to say.
Choose it. Choose it. I want you to.
Yeah, I'm doing
Because-
the same thing. We're going to have to split the belt. I was going to go 38
Because
24.
last week I was
Nice.
somehow conned into switching my
Yeah.
prediction.
So
It's funny when how everyone wants to pick the score that I'm picking. I don't know
No,
what it is.
I tried
me.
going second. I knew I should.
So let's see. What was it again?
38-24.
Okay. just wanted to see if you were fine.
38-24. All right.
38-24. That was my...
Sweet. Well, now neither of you can win. You can only halfway win. So congratulations on that.
Well, one or two of us are going to be traveling out to the Iowa State game. We hope to see a few of you there. And if not, make sure you watch this episode. If you're watching, you're already watching.
Make sure you watch this
Make sure you
one.
watch the next episode.
If you're watching, you're already watching.
Before we do this, let's do the basketball game.
Oh yes, we're gonna. Yeah. All right, let's shift gears here just a little bit because BYU basketball started with an exhibition game. We're not used to that in college basketball. At least
It's weird having a
BYU.
preseason.
Having a preseason.
I love it though.
But we had Nebraska game on just Saturday, this last Saturday, right?
Today, as we're recording it today.
Yeah, before we recorded this. So, and BYU, how do we look? We lost by 1 point. What was it? 90-89? Was that the final score? Nebraska wins it.
I'm not
But it's
concerned about
exhibition.
the loss.
Should we be concerned?
It seemed like there was some figuring out of rotations and how people fit in.
Which
I'm
is
not
awesome.
super concerned.
Most of the starters didn't play for
AJ
most of the
had-
second half.
AJ had 30 points.
Yeah, AJ scored 30.
Yeah.
Like, we've never had a 30-point dog on our team like that.
I heard some
Jimmer figure.
Jimmer.
The greatest of all
Is a
time.
friend of the show. Don't dish Jimmer like that.
Listen to From the
But as
Logo.
a true freshman,
Okay.
Yeah,
as a true freshman, we've never had
Yeah,
a true
AJ's
freshman 30-point dog.
AJ's the
That's
real
what I
deal.
meant to say. Yeah.
But I'll have you know that Jimmer in high school was the second highest ever scoring leader, second in scoring in the state of New York,
Oh, wow.
in New York State history, if I recall.
Does that
correctly.
surprise anyone?
Now AJ's like that,
doesn't.
but just the nation. So
Okay. Okay. But
And a little more.
I'm never going to diss Jimmer. We
Maybe.
love Jimmer. We love Jimmer on the show.
He might be slightly more athletic than Jimmer was, too.
Jimmer, now's your chance. We invite you onto the show. Defend your title as the greatest ever.
Jimmer, if you come
you.
on,
We
if
love
you
you.
come onto the show, I'll wear my Jimmer Fredette jersey on the show, sleeveless.
now next week on Friday we play UNC.
Yeah.
Another exhibition match. Exhibition. Another game.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
At the Delta
But
Center.
it's awesome to see us playing these big teams, too.
Yeah.
Like it,
And then we kick off with Villanova.
yeah.
But there was some defensive drop off in the Nebraska game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was exhibition, and we weren't playing our starters most of the game. But is that something to be concerned about moving forward? That we're going to see a little bit less hustle, a little bit more of AJ DeBanza going off and scoring 30, or was this just because it was an exhibition
I
game?
think it's just an exhibition game thing.
And I mean, our blue and white game, we had plenty of hustle. I think UNC will be a good, see how we compete against a high caliber team.
We're also not trying to hurt anyone.
Right.
And I wouldn't say the coaches say that, but everybody knows it's not worth tearing your ACL in the exhibition game.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you were diving for a loose ball or you.
And we played the guys that were injured in the blue and white game, so kind of getting up to game speed and things like that.
Rob Wright played, I think, only the first half.
But he looked really,
Almost all of the starters.
he looked so good.
Any
That
starters
Rob
played
Wright
these-
to AJ
Rob
connection.
Wright looks good.
I think Kevin Young is smart enough to know, he's still figuring out rotations.
Yeah.
Who plays well together, what he's looking for out of guys. So we're probably seeing some. He wants to see how players are doing, but more important is who he has in, when, and with who.
Yeah, I think it was more like a flashes game rather than like the overall game kind of thing.
And
to
I
take away.
agree with you, Keith.
I also think games like these are a good chance to put in maybe not normal rotations and see if if injuries happen,
See what
that
works.
How do
prove
we
our
handle
guys,
with this and this,
force them in uncomfortable situations to make them play with people they're not super comfortable playing with.
And knowing how good of a coach Kevin Young is, it was more valuable to him to see those combinations and rotations than playing to win that game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He agrees.
Next week, Keith will be learning sign language.
And when's
Keep up with us.
Duolingo to sign language.
When's the North Carolina game?
Friday.
Next Friday.
Friday. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So we got North Carolina, and then we got Iowa State the next following day, right?
Yep. And then Villanova.
1:30 on Fox for Iowa State.
Iowa State football.
Yeah. Sorry.
1:30 now.
Villanova
You're good.
basketball.
Yep.
Villanova basketball following that. Yeah.
But man, the overlap's going to be so fun.
It is.
It's going to be awesome.
Get ready.
I can't wait.
It might be a nightmare for
ready.
me on the editing side to get all of
Yes.
this done.
Yeah, we're gonna be slacking at work, but
Yeah.
BYU football is 7-0, and a basketball season coming up like we've never seen at BYU
Yeah.
before. So
Yeah.
against competition we've never seen, but with talent and a team with depth that rivals the very, very best in the nation. Exciting time to be a
Both
Cougar.
these seasons, I think, are going to be never seen before kind of moments and feelings.
But what a game tonight.
Yeah.
Last night.
Beats.
Last night.
I love it. Go Cougs.
All right,
Go Cougs.
Celebrate all week. Get ready for Iowa State and North Carolina games this weekend, and we're all in on blue. We hope you are too, and we'll see you next week.
Signing off.
Good to have you. It's good to have you sitting there, Isaac.
Good job, dude.